Hello and welcome to the video. Today you're gonna take a look at the newly released Superpower Dragonite here in the Open Great League. And this Pokemon really surprised me. I didn't play everything perfectly fine, to be honest. Like, I had some games which I definitely played wrong because I was a little bit tired when I played those games, but this Pokemon definitely has some value. As you can see here, my first opponent just decides to go directly out of this matchup, as this Pokemon going to be able now to counter some of their hardest counters, like steel types, like the Galarian Stunfisk, like the Bastion, like the Reggie Steel. All of those kinda don't want to face this Pokemon, and this makes it all so much better. I have a team here with the Reggie Steel in the lead, going to be able to counter those pesky fairy types, which are now also way more often and way more common. And then we have the Altaria in the back that can take advantage of the fact that the Dragonite, as a safe swap, going to have the Superpower now and trying to bait out those counters also for the Altaria, and then try to sweep endgame with the Altaria. And this worked out really well. Like, I can highly recommend you this team. I think this team is very good. I hear it from other people who also use this team, that they went, I think, on a 12-game win streak with it. So yeah, like, this team definitely should work out really well for you. We can go for one Zap Cannon, but the opponent decides to surrender already. I think this is though tactical, by the way. Yeah, that is the match against though tactical. They're using the tackle version of Miltank, which I also think is the better version because it just does a little bit more damage. And Rollout doesn't do any damage, so that's kind of a problem. As we can go for one Dragon Claw here, this will be able to actually, they gonna let this move go through. We can just farm them down now, that's very nice. Then you go back into the Deoxys, as this allows us now to just spam those Dragon Claws, and you see how much damage we do. This is a neutral 35 energy move here. It just does a lot of damage against this Deoxys, which is kind of crazy. We can go into our Reggie Steel because we can take those moves pretty easily. They have to go for the Thunderbolt, which doesn't do anything, as you can see here. And we see a Lopunny in the back. I kind of expected another normal type in the back, so here we go. And there's one thing that Lopunny can learn, and this is Hyper Beam. Like, you can either run the Focus Blast or the Hyper Beam, but if you already have a Safe Swap here, yeah, already a Safe Swap there with the Miltank, and that already baits out basically the potential counters for the normal types, and you have a Pokemon in the lead that has counter, then it's very unlikely that they run the Focus Blast. So I think team building wise, it was definitely the right decision to go for the Hyper Beam there. But for me, my only way of losing it there was to no-shield this. So we see here the next opponent having a Lilligant, having a 1413 CP Toxicroak. Of course, this is not really what you're going to see later on either, but it is fine, as they go for one Mud Bomb here. We can farm them down with the Altaria. They're shieldless, and they are also kind of already screwed, as we see a 1351 CP Shiftry. I don't even know why I shield here. That's definitely a Leaf Blade. I think I just didn't pay attention to the battle anymore, which is kind of understandable because this is definitely nobody who will go far with this team and go Battle League. Kind of sad though. Like, the thing which I really find awkward is, or like bad, I don't know, like, I don't know what I really want to say. It's just like, they have the Pokemon, they don't have the right moveset, they don't have the will to give them a second charge move, and I think they would have been so much better there. They just need like this small edge of more commitment to get way better results. As here I make a big mistake by not going into my Charizard, into my Dragonite, because I would have been able to now basically go for one Superpower against this thing. So, like, I don't know why I didn't go in this. This is just habit, I guess. Like, I should have went into my Dragonite. There was no reason for me not to go into my Dragonite. And this is going to hurt me. Especially what's going to hurt me is that I let this move go through, as they have a Granbull in the back. I thought it would be a double Razor Leaf, but it's actually double, like, Razor Leaf and Charm. Very cool team there, and this is actually going to KO me. Main reason for this is just that this thing going to charm me all the way down. It is enough to charm down a Reggie Steel, even if it debuffs you from this health range. So that's kind of crazy. We don't even get the debuff. Ah, this is most likely why they can farm me down as well. Okay, I was like, yeah, it's now a 66% chance. Of course, we don't get it there. But kind of unlucky. We see a Raichu here in the lead. They're going to swap out into their Toxicroak. We can swap into our Altaria. I don't know why they swapped out. All my moves are resisted on the Raichu, so definitely, again, not understanding typings and moves. Kind of interesting, as we see Wigglytuff coming in, and this is already a good game, basically. We can realign our Reggie Steel against it. We can align our Dragonite against the Raichu coming in. We can let the move go through here. This is not scary at all. the Shadow Granbull does way more charm damage. This thing doesn't do any damage really with their fast moves, so we can go ahead, go for one Zap Cannon. Do we get the debuff? We do get the debuff, and we can just go for another one, but they go into their Raichu. I just want to store one move here, and I can just farm this thing all the way down. Here, again, Oswald, two of the main fairy types, like the Wigglytuff and also the Alolan Ninetales, are part Ice/Normal type, which means that Superpower is also neutral against them. Meaning they would definitely go down from this, which is very good for you. But of course now they're going to shield this move up, which doesn't matter because one Focus Blast also going to do the deal here. But yeah, in general, if you want to play this team, you just stay in the lead if it's a good lead, like this one. If it's not a good lead, you swap out into your Dragonite, and then you're gonna hope that you can have something that you can Superpower. Against the Sableye Say-Swap here, I usually stay in, and I usually go for one Zap Cannon just because Zap Cannon can debuff. Of course, now it's not guaranteed anymore. Maybe I should. Okay, yeah, it actually debuffed. That's very nice. And now we can go into our Altaria, and debuffed Foul Play does basically nothing against Altaria because they're super bulky. And we can just go for one Sky Attack. And with this, we're going to be able to win back Switch Advantage while also getting Shield Advantage, which is pretty nice. And we have now basically 2 half-health Pokemon, which is not as nice. And we have a Skarmory coming in here, which is also not as nice. Wanted to see how far I can go, but I can only go for one Moonblast here. They don't throw, which is sad, but we're gonna put them into a range where even one move from the Dragonite going to be enough. I expect them to go for the Brave Bird immediately, so I'm going to shield, and they have a Swampert in the back. And look at this, by the way, this is just beautiful. Swampert against Dragonite in this kind of meta. The Dragon Breath just does so much damage. By the way, you should run Dragon Breath here. It's always like the debate, do you want to run the Dragon Tail or Dragon Breath? Dragon Tail is better on paper usually, I think. But the Dragon Breath here going to do a little bit more damage in general. Like if you look at the calcs and whatever, you're going to see that the Dragon Breath is going to be a little bit better in the Great League meta. I think it's not the case in like higher up metas because the defenses are higher and you have more HP available. But for example, here against Deoxys, you see how crazy much damage I do with the Dragon Breath there. That's because it's a one-turn move. Deoxys doesn't have a lot of HP, and it does a set amount of damage every turn. Most likely he had 3 damage or something. And now we already put him into one Dragonclaw range, which is amazing as we see a Bastiodon coming in. Hey Bastiodon, do you know about my moveset update? You don't know about my moveset update. That's very nice of you, as I can now farm this thing all the way down with my Registeel. And we should be pretty decent here. Like, I don't think there's anything that they can do. Yeah, there's a Victory Bell coming back in. And there's going to be a good game. Next up, we're going to see the opponent having a Scrafty here. Scrafty is definitely not the best, but we can go into our Dragonite and we can bait out the Azumarill, which is also not the best, but we can just go ahead, go for one Superpower just to get him into range for the Zap Cannon later on. We can let this move go through. This is of course a hard counter. There's nothing you can do otherwise, but we can just go now into the Registeel. We got the hardest counter away from the Altaria though, which is the main reason for this team. They can go for one Play Rough. We have 100 energy now. We can go for one Zap Cannon. I tried to undercharge, but I'm still not good in my Registeel game, so could have done a better job there. But they go for one Power Punch. I go for one Focus Blast just to get the first shield from this game here. And now we can swap into my Altaria. They are forced to swap out again, I think. Yep, and they see a Stunfisk here. This can still be winnable, but of course, like, this was hard war from the get-go. They have a fighting type against our Registeel. They had Azumarill against our Dragonite, and now they have a Stunfisk against our Altaria. This doesn't really look too good, to be honest, but hey, maybe we can still do something here. We don't know yet. As we see here, them going for one Rock Slide, they're going to do some pretty decent damage. Actually, didn't expect it to be that much. And we're going to swap out into this Stunfisk here on their Rock Slide. And we're going to be able to catch it. And they're actually going to throw another move here. For whatever reason, they didn't know about our move counts as well, I guess. As we can go ahead, go for one Sky Attack. I hope they shield it so I can go for one Moonblast afterwards. But they're going to no-shield this, which means I have to try to farm them down. And I'm actually going to be able to do this. They now only have the Scrafty, and I can go for 2 Sky Attacks, and I should be able to win this game here. Even though it looked so bad for the most part of this game, I can go for one Sky Attack now, and this is going to be enough to actually KO the opponent after the second one, after they got rid of their shields, as this Sky Attack does some pretty nice damage, and this is going to be it. Next up, we're going to see another opponent who hit Legend last time with a Golbat. I think I misplayed this game. I'm pretty sure I misplayed this game, if I remember correctly. They go into their Drapion here, which is kind of cool. Double Shadow, double Poison so far. We can go ahead, go for one Zapcan here, and we're going to get the first shield. We didn't get the debuff. I didn't see this before. Okay, yeah. I'm still used to getting the debuff all the time, so I don't really look if we get the debuff. But this does make more sense now why the Crunch does so much damage against the Altaria. I was like confused at this time when I played the game. Yeah, okay, I guess they didn't get debuffed there, which is fine. We still get the shield advantage. They can farm us down, but very unlucky there. We can go ahead, go into our Registeel, and I think I make a big mistake here. They have a Medicham in the back, and yep. I was like, okay, I hope that they have to throw against me before they can farm me down. But I just stay in and I give them free energy, and I don't know why I did this. I think I was just too tired. I think I didn't see that I have 2 shields left. I should have just swapped out. There was nothing my opponent could have done if I swapped out. And yeah, this is just kind of sad, to be honest. But this is how I lose this game now. But yeah, this was like a mistake that I definitely also realized already at the time. I just thought I only had 1 shield left and not 2 shields left, and then the opponent would have easily got to 2 moves before I could get to my moves. So yeah, if I had eyes, I would have maybe been able to see that I have 2 shields left, but that's how it is. We see the opponent here was Scrafty again. We can go into our Dragonite against the Skarmory. This looks like a very bad matchup, but it turns out that it's not the worst matchup, at least. Because we can just farm this thing all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, go for one Superpower now. And we're going to be able to get the first shield, and we're going to be able to get another shield if they want to keep the alignment. So we're going to be able to get a shield advantage against a Pokemon that usually would hard counter you, which is kind of nice. Now we can get some energy advantage here, maybe with our what's called Registeel. We should be able to farm all the way down. They might get to another move here, but it's fine. We can just get 100 energy and they can go for another Brave Bird if they want to. Totally fine for me. We have some less health now, but we have a lot of energy and we can get the opponent to less health as they go into a Trevenant. They had the Fighter in the lead. We can go into our Altaria, and this is already over. And I make another mistake here because I don't know why. I was just way too tired. I think at this point of time I played this during the night, of course, and I go for a Moonblast here. One Sky Attack would have been easily enough. I know this myself, but I just thought, I guess, I go for the flex and my opponent decides to surrender for this. Don't know why I did this, like literally no idea. And we go into the second to last game, I think. We see a Lickitung coming in here. We go for the Zap Cannon. Let's hope that we get the debuff nowadays. I think we are not going to get the debuff again. I think I got like the debuff maybe 30% of the time. That's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. Like it's 66% now. 66% for the debuff. Kind of crazy. But we can store one move here. We can swap into our Altaria. We would have way more health on our Registeel though, which is kind of sad. And we would also have more health on our Altaria after this matchup. I was like, okay, why the hell is this matchup still so close? But I guess I didn't realize again that there was no debuff. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I guess the debuffing for Registeel actually makes a bigger impact than I thought it would. So yep, this is kind of awkward. I think like Registeel still is basically the same if you use it as a closer, but otherwise it's not. So we see here the what's called here the Mawile, and I kind of wanted to try to get to a good move there against the Trevenant here, but I kind of wanted to try to get some damage on the Mawile, but they decide to double shield, putting us 2 shields up. I'm going to go into my Dragonite now because I kind of have to. And I can have to shield here as well because they can have a Shadow Ball here, but they go for the Seed Bomb bait, which is kind of bad, and they have to shield. I have to shield again here. Now I'm shieldless as well. I have to go for one Superpower. Is one Superpower enough for one more while here? It's Shadow vs. Shadow. Superpower comes through and it is not enough. And I'm going to go into my Altaria, which was the worst idea I've ever had, because now they had more health to get to a play rough. I should have tried to sack swap on it and not play like this, but yeah, again, I didn't play my best at all, but still this team was pretty nice. It was me the issue at this time. As we see a Stunfisk coming in. Very cool Pokemon, very nice here. We can just shield up the first move, it doesn't really matter too much. as we can get the shield easily back anyway. But I'm going to go for one bait here, trying to get my opponent to shield the first move and not shield the second move. Let's see how much the second move going to do, if they're going to let this move go through, and they're going to let this move go through, and this Stunfisk just completely goes down there. Bye-bye Stunfisk, hello azumarill. This is very good for me, because now I can just go for more superpowers, gonna get this thing lower, gonna get this thing into a range where they shield this move up. I guess they thought that fighting is super effective against fairy types or whatever, which is not the case. It's the other way around, my friend, as we can go into our Registeel and we can just go for one Zapkin and this thing going to go down. They go for one Hydro Pump, fine for me. I can go for one Zapkin, I should be fine. Do they swap? They don't swap. I hope that this KOs already. Let's see. It does KO and we see the Galvantula coming in. We can just stay in here, go then into our Altaria, and we will easily be able to win this game. So thanks for watching. This team really works out well. I'm really curious on how good the Dragonite going to be in the other leagues. I'm going to test it out as well. But this is going to be it for this one. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.